So we're out getting steps in. It's Friday, second week of January now, so 2026. New year, new me, as people like to say. So it's 8 a.m. now. We clocked off 7.5k steps. I actually need to charge my Garmin. That's the worst thing that can happen to you in life. Is your Garmin battery dying? No, that's worse than the phone. Worse than the phone dying. But anyway, so I think my last vlog was race week of Abu Dhabi Marathon. Race week. I didn't end up racing because I got ill. And so I had to cancel the event, or I decided not to run because there would have been no point in running. Like, for me, whenever I do an event, I really want to push it hard and chase a PB. And I wouldn't have been able to do that, and it would have just massively prolonged my recovery. Initially I was like, oh shit, blah blah blah, which it is, but at the end of the day, I went through the entire prep. Like, for anyone, if you do this and you're doing certain signing up to stuff for years on end, there will definitely be maybe 1 or 2 times, or maybe even more if you're unlucky, where you might get sick before an event, or you might get injured, and you just have to drop out. Like, it's not the end of the world, because essentially your fitness is built anyway in the prep and not in the race. So I just signed up with my new coach as well, Joe. So I'm ready to chase some big goals this year as well. So over the next 12 weeks, my priority is my body composition. So dropping body fat, and also like pushing my lifting again. I'm actually very excited to get back into like putting the intensity in my strength training, pushing my numbers in the gym, because that's definitely the thing that has taken the biggest backseat. I would say over the last 8 weeks, my lifting in the gym was in pure maintenance mode. There were even a couple of weeks where I only lifted once a week. So towards the end of the marathon prep, I reduced my lifting from 3 sessions a week down to 2 full body sessions. But even in these sessions, I didn't push my numbers. I didn't do massive volume. It was all just maintaining, obviously, because running was the priority. The next 12 weeks, that's going to be the focus. And then I also have 2 events booked into the calendar for this year. So that's essentially, anyway, a classic example of what the majority of people also who come into the coaching program have as goals. So I'd say for 95% of the people, if not more than that, the first priority is always fat loss or like body composition. So getting in great shape, physically dropping body fat, building muscle. And then not everyone, but a lot of people who join the coaching either have a performance goal, so whether that's being able to like run a faster 10k or doing a bigger event. It could be the first one, so first marathon, or doing the next one. So it's time for the breakfast bowl. So given I'm not training today, my diet is a bit lower in carbs. So it's lunchtime now. I just had my lunch, but I forgot to film it because, yeah, I forgot. I ate straight away. I was hungry. So I'm getting currently my meal prep from RightBite, which is very convenient. So I get all of my meals. Every morning I get 2 meals delivered, fresh, and I can pick from different options every single day, basically. So that's for my lunch and dinner. So I had a steak sandwich just now. And then the good thing is with all these, you can pick the macro split. So all of my meals, every single lunch and every single dinner is 750 calories each. And I also have the exact macro split every day the same. So that's obviously great. And I would advise or suggest that when I work with clients who want to drop body fat, is if you have too much variety in your nutrition, it's just going to make things a lot harder. So I pretty much eat definitely the same breakfast every day, and then my lunches and dinners are very similar as well. So we're out now. It's 6 p.m. Gonna get my steps done, and I also need to go to the clinic quickly because when I got ill in December, so I had a blood test and everything done, and I might have low iron, so I might have to start supplementing iron, which is, I believe, quite common, especially for females in training as well. We're driving to Dubai now. I'm gonna go to Cape Beach, and again, rest day today. I'm just gonna get a walk in by the beach, grab a coffee, and then I will go to the Dubai Mall as well, because I need to buy a new pair of lifting shoes. I left my Nike Metcons in Austria, so I've been lifting in my, at least for the lower body, in my Converse, which I don't really like. So that's what's gonna get done today, and then just hit nutrition. I might have one meal, lunch, on the go, probably in the mall, something where I can obviously control my nutrition targets. So that's probably either gonna be Nando's, Cheesecake Factory, which I haven't done in a while, or I might grab a bowl from Waitrose. Haven't done that in a while either. But it depends whether I want to have a sit-down meal or a non-sit-down meal. So, and this is probably the first time ever since going to the track sessions when I was still doing the marathon prep that I'm going to drive to Dubai without encountering traffic. Because it's Saturday morning now and it's like not even 9 a.m. yet. So there's no one, I mean not no one, but there's little traffic. Probably going to be very different on the way back, but who cares? I'm going to be sitting in the fucking traffic again. So my body weight this morning was slightly up. So last week in week 1, I think I mentioned this before in this video, I had dropped almost 1.5 kgs, but my starting body weight was probably already quite elevated because it was post-traveling, my sleep was off. I came down with a bit of a fever post-traveling. Jesus Christ, this guy is fucking insane. And so my starting body weight was already quite elevated, and I think then it down-regulated, and obviously dialing in the things, it naturally dropped. But this week, so since probably midweek, start of the week, my weight has been quite stagnant, if not going slightly up, but there is a very simple explanation for this. Because I've been hitting all of my targets and everything, so I did my leg session and I have massive DOMs, like massive. So whenever you do this, your body will be inflamed, so it's very natural that you're retaining more water. Generally, when you start dieting, I would say in the first 2 weeks, you would generally see quite a big drop in body weight when you're hitting like targets and stuff. Something I have to look into though is my meal prep service. So I'm currently using a meal prep service for my lunch and my dinner. And generally I'd say the macros and the calories on that should be fairly accurate, but there can also be a high probability that it's off by 10-20%. So if things don't move, let's say over the course of next week, that's the first thing I'm going to change. I just have to assume that each of my meals is actually higher in calories. So it's currently set at around 750 each meal. But obviously if it's off by 20%, that would necessarily mean I'm consuming 300 calories more every day, which will make the difference. So I want to get this fat loss phase done as fast as possible, drop the weight, get out of a deficit, eat more calories again, and then chase the performance and get fast and hit some PBs later in the year. So this is definitely one of the most boring weekends I've had in a while. But what to do? 3 days no training. This is my second day. No training. Have another rest day tomorrow. So 3 full days of rest. Lucy isn't here. I'm not training, so don't really know what to do with myself. Someone stole something here. I'm gonna go and buy a new lifting shoe, and then I can't wait, hopefully Monday, to get back into hitting my training really hard, because it's been a bit of a slow December. Pulling out from the marathon. So I haven't done an event actually since April 2025. That's very boring. So time for a Nando's lunch and a Coke Zero, as always. They made fun of me because I'm by myself. And I usually come here with Lucy. But these people, clearly, they don't know the joy of eating on your own. So it's gonna be butterfly chicken, spicy rice, flavor hot. Nando's needs to be either extra hot or hot. Spicy rice and vegetables. That fits nicely into my nutrition targets. So we've secured the goods. So we're ready to hit some massive lifting PBs next week, hopefully. So from next week, if all goes as per the plan, I have 3 lifting sessions in my program: upper lower full body split, 2 runs, so 1 higher intensity faster session, 1 easy long run, and then 1 bike session. So chasing the performance gains as well, but the body composition and the fat loss is definitely the priority over the next couple of weeks. This is also what I would typically do with a client in the program. Obviously, this will come down to how much weight you have to lose. So if someone has more than, I'd say, 10 to 15 kg to lose, you would then break that down so that you're not dieting non-stop for months, because this will usually make your results worse, and at some point your adherence will drop, consistency will drop. So I always break a dieting phase or a fat loss phase down into 8 to 12 week blocks. But then in these 8 to 12 weeks, we obviously try and make as much progress as possible with the fat loss. So my fat loss phase isn't going to last any longer than 12 weeks for the time being. I might have to extend it, or maybe, do another shorter block later in the year. But that's what I would essentially always do. And this way you can then also plan in, obviously, if someone wants to do an event, or if someone has periods where they need to be taken out of a deficit. I'm obviously going to be documenting parts of it on here. Whatever is exciting to document. In a fat loss phase, I think, it's typically more boring than doing full-blown marathon prep, at least for me. And then let's see what we can get done over the next 12 weeks.